both platforms?
Yeah,
Is that the goal? Oh
yeah,
God.
that's what we're doing right now.
All right.
All right, welcome back to Street Talk. Me and Jake both just watched Dune in theaters. I watched it in IMAX. Jake, I'm not sure about you. I'm pretty sure
I did. I
the
got in
same.
there. I snuck in
Nice.
IMAX.
Let's go. I had to go to the 3:30 because I checked 7 like 3 days ago, and no seats. The only place you could sit was just front row, and I was not gonna do that for the IMAX, like, cause it's 70 millimeter, like 70 millimeter print, so that whole screen's filled up. That was the first time I've been in
I
that
think some
venue like that.
people have been doing IMAX theater before. They know the
Well, Jake,
experience,
I've
and
been to
it's
that
not.
too, but I saw Oppenheimer in like some kind of trash theater, so I haven't actually seen a
You
movie
haven't
like
been in
that in
IMAX in a
IMAX.
while.
Like, well, I've been in IMAX, but it's just not like IMAX format. Like that was shot for IMAX, so the whole
Mm,
big screen is filled up. Like I saw
got it.
Poor Things in that theater, and it was like not all the way. So,
Oh,
but
that
dude,
makes sense.
it was awesome. It was awesome.
It's a wild ride. It's a long. It was like a. I. You said something in the last episode when we were on here live about you not expecting it to end when it does, and I kept
Yeah,
thinking it was gonna keep ending, and it didn't. And yeah, so that was in the back of my mind. I appreciate you letting me know.
yeah, man.
Um, but yeah, that was a roller coaster. They
It
they
was.
progressed pretty heavily through the story. They
I know. It was
and they
awesome.
left it on a good cliffhanger. Not one that you kind of are upset about. It like really was the end of that era of the story, and then it was on to the next. And so I felt like it was a
Yeah,
good time to part the way it did.
yeah. It's really just like the tip of the iceberg too. Like there's still like all these other houses we don't know who like came in at the end. This is a spoiler review, so if you're gonna go watch the movie, I mean you can stick around if you want to, but we're probably gonna dive into some things that happened in the movie. Um, but yeah, the way they left it off, like we're open to this whole new world, like the rest of the galaxy. Like they brought up like the fate of the galaxy is in his hands or whatever. We haven't even seen the galaxy yet, so I'm excited to like possibly explore it in some other movies. And we definitely know there's gonna be another one after that one. So
Oh yeah, there's definitely three. You're talking like it's gonna be the next Star Wars. Like we got Galaxy talk. I don't
well,
know about that.
they brought up galaxy within the movie. Like he's like the galaxy is like, and I was like, oh, we're saying galaxy out here, not just Arrakis.
Yeah,
Chase, get you,
yeah. Chase, sorry about it, bro. You're gonna have to wait. You have to watch this one
Boba,
back, Boba. Yep,
Boba. Yep. All right.
that's real.
Uh, yeah. The premise, Jake. I'm just gonna rattle it off real quick. Uh,
Okay.
the boy Timothy Chalamet, he's taking care of this planet. Uh, the bad guys, aka not off to a good start here, but the Harkonnens are trying to take over Arrakis, and he's trying to defend it. That's basically the premise of the movie. I was gonna read the blurb, but I don't want to get too like into the weeds here. But yeah, I mean it
There's
was
a
a pretty
lot.
basic
Well, it was
premise.
a
Yeah,
it was a it was a focus on Paul, our main character, Timothy Chalamet, trying to figure out what he's gonna do, see if he earns his stripes. Um, and obviously it goes in a direction that you wouldn't really expect at the beginning of the film.
yeah,
I appreciated the way that they cut. It felt kind of abrupt because I know that they're trying to add a lot in. Like the time lapse between him like being there for the first day when he pulls up on the squad,
yeah.
to like when he's like starting to get like go through like the rituals and whatnot.
I
I felt
mean
like that was
in the
pretty
last,
rushed, but I'm glad it was at the same time because I didn't want to have
eh,
to like
you talking about
keep.
the montage sequence when he was like he kept like going in and taking out the spice collector things.
Yeah, that part, but and then the riding of the worm that's in the trailer, so that's not a
Yeah,
spoiler.
that was like the end of the training montage, the Rocky training montage. That was the end of that. That was kind of
Yeah,
like the rite of passage. Like you are one of the sand people.
yeah, I know. I was just saying I felt like it was really sped up, but and I was really confused. We're just gonna get to the confusion parts because they're just kind of coming to me.
All
Um,
right,
why is the Roland guy, Josh Roland, or what is that his name?
Brolin,
No, that Roland is not. Yeah,
Josh Brolin.
Brolin is Josh Brolin.
Yeah, come on.
Was confused how he managed to make it back. He explained briefly, but I was confused still because
Yeah,
he was running
I
with
don't
his rigs.
remember. He was definitely. I thought in my head he was dead. But I'm glad.
We never
I'm
saw him
glad he pulled
die,
up.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he seemed like he was working for the bad guys, but I don't know if he was or not, or he was just getting some spice for himself. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Well, he
I was a little
he
confused.
he's like super war mind. Like his mindset is war. And one thing I mentioned, I was like, he kind of reminded me of that general in Doctor Strangelove, who's like ready to like set the rockets off,
Yeah,
and he's like explaining like all the stuff.
chair
He's like, oh,
guard.
you gotta see, you gotta get in there, you gotta see it. You like, you gotta.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta watch it sometime. And that was a funny moment. I love that him and Javier Bardem, who's in No Country for Old Men, they had
yeah.
a little like moment together on screen, and they were kind of butting heads a little bit. And I feel like it was kind of a nod to No Country, even though like uh, it probably like wasn't meant to be that in the story, but everyone who was watching it, like that's definitely going on in their heads.
I think there was more issue with Zendaya's character and Josh more than Javier and him.
I know,
You know,
but it was a brief moment. It was kind of like a
it
fun,
was
like
cool having those guys stand next to each other in the same movie, like because they haven't been in the
yeah.
same frame together in a while. Um, Javier's character was hilarious. Is that
I
his
know
name?
he was. Yeah, he was. Well, no, that's his name in real life. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Javier. Yep.
yeah. I that was like the biggest pops in my theater were his moments where like he was talking about the prophecy a bunch at the beginning and
Yeah,
everybody was popping, but
and
then
he's
by the
like the
end
biggest
like
like
he stayed consistent throughout
yeah
and
he's the
everybody took
biggest
him
like
serious at the end.
messiah junkie. Like he's like super in with it. And I
Yeah,
loved how he was like talking with the other guys. He's like, dude, he's like so humble. Like this is like
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
how it
bro.
was supposed to be.
Yeah, yep,
And yeah, I he was my standout. I have standout actors right here, and he actually made the movie like for me. Like he made it super enjoyable. Like I walked out of that theater, I'm like, Javier's a dog. Like I want to see him in more things.
yeah. He did a great job. How about his
And then I
range
yeah,
from
I know.
his bad guy character to be this guy
Yeah,
that's like I don't know. He's silent, but he's like
he's
he's
funny,
like I
serious.
don't
Like
know,
he's just like a
relatable.
he's such a cool like elder of the like of the tribe. Like he's a cool like he's the cool dad. Like
Yeah.
he's your friend's cool dad. Like in this movie.
I think it's interesting how his attitude shifts from being this super stone cold guy in the first movie into the second movie where he's like once he sees signs of this guy being the possible messiah, he gets all like excited about it. Like that character trait didn't come out until this movie, and so like that was cool to see his kind of character development there as well.
Yeah,
If you
definitely.
want to try to connect both the movies, because if you remember, he came in like no smile on his face,
Yeah.
that wasn't happy people
No,
were taking over.
yeah, I have that in my notes. His character development. I was gonna say the character development as a whole, like within multiple characters, kind of made this movie special, like compared to the last movie.
Yeah,
The four
a lot of different
people
characters.
I was gonna mention were Timothy Chalamet. Obviously, I'm just gonna say he crushed his role. Um, I was kind of like unsure about him being like this main guy. Like he's got to like take charge at some point, and he did it really well. He picked up that spear, and he was just like telling the people how it was, and I believed him. Being in the
Yeah,
audience, I
bro.
was like,
Well,
this guy is legit.
it also helps that like most of his leadership role doesn't really come into full effect. Spoiler alert for anybody that is watching. We're doing spoilers here. It's in the title. You should know. Um,
Yeah,
the most of his like commanding side of his character comes after he drinks the water of life or
Yeah,
whatever, and that makes it more believable because there's some other like alternate force that's like within him that you're just trying to like,
yeah.
as a viewer you're like, this guy is a different guy than he was. So I think it was interesting. That's what sold it like more for me than I would have otherwise
No, yeah,
if
it
you would just
definitely
started
did.
barking
Because
orders.
he was, like I said earlier, uh, Javier Bardem's character was saying how he was like this humble guy. He was not humble after he took a sip of that worm juice. I tell you what. And the
Right, he was
mom,
like,
when after she drank it too, was like full blown nuts. I thought she was gonna be an
she's part of
issue,
the
and then
problem.
she ended up.
She
I
is.
thought she was
She is
gonna.
an issue.
She's definitely gonna be an issue in the next movie.
Yeah, she's an issue.
But yeah, like she seemed like somewhat normal, but I thought she like straight up lost her mind, and she was like talking to the. That was one of my negatives. I was like, we're talking to this like
Hey,
embryo.
there's
Like, what are we
some,
doing?
yeah, there's some stuff we don't know about that's going in the works,
Yeah,
that they're trying to let us know about. I mean, it's like a second movie. They're gonna try start introducing some new things. The first one was kind of like a feeler, set the scene. This one, they were coming at us full force with like a bunch of lore, bunch of like of this story of Paul. So
yeah.
it's cool.
I feel like compared to like Star Wars, I feel like that's like a comparison like a lot of people draw. Like space, you have a chosen one. Like there's this kid who has to like grow up quick. I think it's pretty similar, but I'd say for like the average viewer, like this one's like more complex. Like you kind of have to be like more dialed in. There's a lot of names to remember, a lot of politics going on, a lot of different houses. You got to know like where their loyalties lie, and then there's like some witches in the background that are like trying to pull the strings. There's
Yeah,
just a lot of things going on.
it's complicated, but that's what makes it good because you don't really like, your brain's only big enough to kind of consider every other possibility because I don't know. There's just a lot of things going a lot of different ways. Especially with those witches and stuff that you mentioned, is
Yeah,
it's super complex. And I would have said the same thing. It was complex like 2 hours in, and then we had a whole nother hour, and it kept
yeah,
going and kept changing. Uh, what I thought like the ending of the trilogy might be, like thinking ahead, trying to predict. I think they left it in a good spot though. I think it was fun.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Let
Theaters
me
were
break
packed
down
by the way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely packed. I mean, I was some guy like said his stuff in my seat. I had to like get in there and be like, hey, like I'm sitting
You had to let them
here.
know.
Yeah, he was cool though. That guy was like clapping and stuff, and he was like laughing. And he was like one of those guys who was wearing like one of those golf hats, and he was like very invested. And dude, as we
Yeah.
were walking out, he was like, "Woo!" Like he was
You
juiced
talking
up. He
about
was
like a
like,
redditor?
"Woo!"
He's like a redditor guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he was juiced up. Like
Had his fedora on.
he was like, "Woo!" Woo! He did that shit like 6 times when we were walking out of the theater, and I was like, all right, like I'm getting the general consensus out of this guy right here.
Yeah.
Um, but I was gonna go through the factions real quick, just so everyone's on a little baseline. Everyone kind of understands what we're
Let
talking
me
about
know
here.
too, cause I gotta
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
I'm letting Jake know. I had to let myself know. I had to do some research here. Um, so the House of Harkonnen is the evil guys. That's Austin Butler's character, who I wasn't like too big of a fan of. Stellan Skarsgård as well. That might be a hot take on that guy, but and then we got the Fremen, who are the rats, as the Harkonnens call them, but they're the Sand People. They're the badass, the Javier Bardem guys. He's like one of the leaders of the Fremen. And then we got the House of Atreides, which is it's just Paul and his mom are the only one left in that house because they all
And Berlin.
died in the first one. Yep, and Brolin. Good call. And then we have the Bene Gesserit, which is the witches. They're like the people who possess the
Are they
power
a
to.
species or are they a faction?
It's like I
I'm
have them in the
confused.
faction because they're like it's basically like joining like a witch squad.
A little
Like
cult gang.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But they like can use the voice.
Yeah.
That's like the force equivalent. Uh, within this movie, and I
Yeah.
actually wish they kind of implemented a little bit more. I mean, they definitely had it, but I was gonna say we saw Austin Butler's character kind of fall victim to the voice, like with that one chick who was the witch who was kind of seduced him. And I think Paul
That
could
whole
have
arc
taken
ended up just
advantage
getting
of like, well, well,
snuffed out.
well, well, the kid, that chick has like, his kid now, so that guy's gonna be an issue for the
Good
daughter.
aim, good aim, good call.
At the same time, yeah, yeah. Um, and then the other houses, we don't really know yet, but they all pulled up at the end, and they're like, "You can't be emperor," and then he was like, I'm gonna be emperor anyway." So, um, and that the house that the all right, guys, I'm sorry.
You're
The
good. Get
house that
into it.
the Paul Atreides is like marrying. He goes to marry. Spoiler is the House of Korean, which is where the Emperor guy is.
Okay, didn't know that
Christopher
name.
Walden.
Now we know.
Yeah, Christopher Walden. Uh,
Walken? Was it
Walken.
Walden or
Walken.
you say?
Walken. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
Damn.
awesome. I love his voice. I love listening to his
I could
voice
hear him
and
talking in 4 words every time he talked.
yeah.
He was doing. He was like, he's like the Jesuits are the people that I like to talk to,
Yeah, more
and I was
cowbell.
like, I thought it was,
Uh,
I thought he was really out of place, but it was fine.
I
I'll
know,
allow
but
it.
he does have a good face to be an emperor, like kind of
Sure.
like an evil person. Um, and then speaking of evil people, Austin Butler, as I mentioned, he played uh, Fade Ratha Harkonnen, who's the nephew of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, who's the big fat guy who flies.
Yep.
If the yeah, so uh, I heard Elvis come out of his voice a couple times throughout this
Did
movie.
he?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard to
I
drop
could
it.
hear it on it. I wasn't like trying to hear it, but I could definitely like I got some little tones. Uh, I'm just gonna
I thought he
say
did fine,
I
man.
was not. I think he did okay, but I was not intimidated by him. Like I know he's like, give me my knife, and then he's like slicing people's throats, but like let's get a cool, like a bad guy. I'm actually like scared of. Like he's like too skinny. Like I mean he was jacked in that one scene with his shirt off, but
Chill, bro.
he wasn't doing it for me. He wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah. I don't know,
I
man.
mean, they got to get jacked for the role. That's. I mean, if you're taking
Yeah,
your shirt off
no,
in the
he
movie,
did it
that's when
right,
you're
bro.
like, you're going on all the stuff,
Yeah, it was
and
like
you're
4 months
going
of
to work
work
out
right
with this
there.
guy. Yeah,
Um, yeah, bro. I don't know. I thought he did a good job. I always like a character that's like a wild card, and I
yeah,
thought they added to that a little bit. I on a side note, I thought I was really disappointed with what's his name's character, Batista.
yeah.
I was really
I was gonna say
disappointed with
that
his
too.
character. He was kind of weak in this, and I thought he had like more potential as a bad guy, like you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like when you're comparing those two guys, obviously Batista's gonna be a more intimidating figure because he's just massive. But he showed some weakness in this one, and hey, he decided not to turn his back that second time, and
dude,
so
he was
yeah.
getting smacked around the whole movie.
Dude, he fucking ran away when
Um,
he saw little ass Timothy Chalamet pulling up on him. He retreated, bro. I thought that was crazy. I was like,
yeah,
how are you running away right now?
I like how he was like Josh Brolin's character. He was like, "Oh, look who decided to come back to life," and then he just got like, boom, take him out.
Yeah, they were trying to implement a little bit of this is Game of Thrones. You don't know like how quick somebody's just gonna be gone because we got a lot of people to feed into the script here. Like I yeah, they definitely made some more space for some more houses, Ty, like you're saying. So
Yeah,
they did away with some of these houses, and there's gonna be new ones emerging. I'm excited to see the new villains. I'm excited to see Zendaya's new story. Hopefully she finds some fucking guys that were hiding out that didn't know anything about what was going on that planet, rallies them. I got a feeling she's gonna be the leader of the Sand People, uh, and I'm just making
Oh
predictions
yeah,
now.
that's a good call.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you
we
want
got
to talk
some
about what you
action in this
think?
Twitch chat.
Yeah, what's going on?
This guy from Germany is like spamming us.
Antonio, what's up, bro?
He's saying like,
Tony.
what's the problem? Let's talk, huh? Hey, do you know what the last name Herbstreit means? Cause that's our last name and it's apparently German. And
Anthony, my
Antoni, huh?
bad, my bad, my bad, my
Let's
bad, my
talk,
bad.
huh?
Okay.
Anthony.
You probably didn't. Okay,
It's
Anthony.
probably
Yeah,
Anthony.
probably Anthony. I just immediately
Sorry,
go.
dude.
I
You went
watched
straight to
Sopranos.
the
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Italian. Yeah, yeah. What can you say there? Um, but all right, let's get back to this here. Unless Anthony wants to say something, but all right, standout actors, Jake. We already covered it. Timothy Chalamet, uh,
Yeah.
Paul Atreides, and then they coined the coined the name for him, Madib, which was actually a cool piece. Like I thought it was cool that they named him. It was kind of like felt like Avatar in that sense, where they welcome him into their culture, and
Yeah.
it's a cool name of like that little mouse that they showed a couple times,
Yeah,
and
that was a good touch.
the mouse like apparently generates its own water, so like I thought that was like a cool parallel they did there.
Yeah, they really explained
Jonathan
that one
Riddle,
for us.
let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Jonathan Riddle, he's in one of my marketing classes, but he's
He
out.
sounds like he messed with it. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Yeah,
It
exceeded my expectations too. We
we're
haven't gotten
trying
the
to break
rating
it all
yet, but
down because it's insane like how much happened over the course of the 3 hours that we were in there. It
yeah,
was
let's go.
it's a lot to process, so we're just doing it on camera, you know.
Let's
Um,
go, Jonathan. I'm pumped he's in here. Um,
Bro,
all right, and
Anthony
then
wants to talk on Discord.
all right, you covered Twitch, I'll cover this.
No,
All right,
bro.
Anthony
We
wants to
don't.
like get in
I
here.
don't.
He
Yeah, I
wants to
think he
like get
wants
in
to
here and
like. He
talk.
wants to voice his opinions here.
Jonathan said he's going to see the movie again next week. That's a good call. We're still trying to get like all of our thoughts together here. Like, it's tough. Like just getting out of the theater, you just watched like over 2.5 hour movie, and we're just trying to break it down a little bit. But
Yeah.
come join along. You mentioned some points you liked in the movie. Like we'll talk about it if you want to. That would be awesome. But let's keep going down with the standout actors. Um, Rebecca Ferguson as like the witch lady, Timmy's mom.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
The mom of Paul.
dude,
Got it.
I like the look with the tattoos on the face.
Yeah, the swag.
She definitely lost her mind after she drank the juice of life, water of life.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. That was like a really dark part of the movie. That like, dude, that old lady whose eyes rolled back and like all like that was just like that was kind of a weird time.
So
Right
do we?
there.
So do we not know if she knew how big of a deal this was that she was doing this
Yeah,
ritual?
she did.
She's
They
just like,
threw
yeah,
her in
fuck it.
there.
She's like,
I mean,
it's either death or
part of the
this. It's cool.
it's part of the prophecy, dude. I mean,
Yeah, and
that's
then
like, you
she.
just gotta. I guess we gotta do it.
Yeah, I guess she like thought that she was strong because she did those like the box insert, the hand, like I can do anything
Yeah,
after that. Um, yeah, this
yeah.
was on
Well,
another
her
level.
body was like sprawling. I was like, oh my gosh.
Didn't even. Can we talk about how she didn't even think about the baby? Like how that would, how this might like affect like the childbirth? Like can we
Oh
not wait
yeah,
a few
what we
months
doing?
before we proceed
I
with
think
this?
she had no clue, dude. She had no idea. And then
Because
her
yeah,
eyes were open to everything after that.
yeah,
And then the baby's like, oh, hold up, let me talk real quick. Let me check on Paul. Like, Paul, why are you doing this?
yeah. I was so confused how that was gonna come back. Because at the beginning of the movie it opens like with Paul talking to the embryo. I'm like, what are we looking at right now? Tadpole? What the hell? and yeah, it came back in a strong way. And then I think we saw her face in like one of his dreams, and it might have been the girl from like Queen's Gambit or something.
No,
Am
it
I
is.
tripping?
It's Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She's like the that's like the sister grown up,
Yeah.
and they'll probably do a what I think they're gonna do. This next one's called Dune 3, but it's Dune Messiah, um, which is pretty cool. Timothy's gonna get active in that one as well. But I think they're gonna do a like follow up one like after the trilogy with Anya Taylor Joy. Like she's gonna be like kind of the center of the story after that.
Yeah, because she's got a lot going for her before she's even born. She's like part Harkonnen, part Atreides, just like Paul.
Part which
She
part.
literally has everything that Paul
Yeah,
has just acquired, and she hasn't even come out the womb yet. So like, she might
yeah.
be a weapon.
No, she
Like
definitely
got the
is. I
juice,
mean,
got the juice in her.
dude,
She's
she's
like,
calling
she's got a
shots.
little telepathic voice action. Maybe she
Yeah,
has the voice in the womb. Is that what's
I
happening?
think that's what's going on. That's what's going.
Did
Like,
we
you
just break something?
yeah, 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 yeah.
See, this is why we talk about it, because then we
Yeah,
start, you
yeah.
know.
We're breaking it down to ourselves here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding out that his mom was Harkonnen was crazy, definitely. Yeah, I that's kind of like the equivalent to like Luke finding out Darth Vader was his father, like within this Dune trilogy here. We knew there was gonna be some kind of backstabbing or some kind of twist like that. Like definitely to come out. Dang, Zach.
Zach, what do you
Zach, we
expect?
told you not to click on it. Here we go. This is just
Why,
for
Ty? Why is spoilers not in the
men.
title?
It
Why is
is.
spoilers not in the title? It's
It's
not.
on Jake.
Yeah, but as soon as they click on it, they don't see that it's spoiler.
It's in the title and it's
Do
on the
spoiler with the
thumbnail.
asterisks in the title, Ty. Okay.
It's on the
Next time.
thumbnail, dude.
Now we know.
All right. Oh well. All right, let's go to some of the best moments. All right, that opening sequence, Jake. Let's talk about it. These dudes pull up.
You remember?
There's some black stormtroopers who can't move very quick. Uh, they're like hiding right on that ridge, and
Yeah,
Paul's laying down.
got it.
And I thought that was a cool sequence. And one thing I want to say about this movie is its action was like really unique. Like there was like a lot of unique different ways they did like action sequences. It wasn't just a bunch of sword battles. Like
Yeah.
let me just go through it here. Um I was going to say where is it, dude?
Zach's
I mean, I can
Quit
what?
crying.
There goes my weekend.
Quit your
God.
crying. Dude, is Jonathan still in here? I want to
Yeah, I
ask
think
him
he
if
is.
he. So when you were watching it, I just have to say something about like the lighting and how they did a good job with the transitioning, like from a lot of the scenes with the Emperor and like the House of Harkonnen, I think it is. They were like talking in the dark, breaking it down, trying to move the story forward. Um, every time it cut to Dune, like the Dune planet, I felt like my eyes were adjusting heavily, and I thought that was
Oh no.
intentional. I thought it was intentional. I was like, damn,
Well, it's
like
definitely dark and light, like in a
they're trying
like
to let you
literal
know.
sense.
They're trying
Yeah,
to let you
in a
know.
literal sense. And they even had the black and white sequence with Austin Butler like doing like the gladiator stuff. I thought that was a super cool sequence. But as I
Yeah,
was saying, like the different action sequences at the beginning, we have like the kind of sneak up portion. We think they're about to get caught, and then they like fully climb up this like rock wall. Like I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, it was just kind of out of nowhere, and then they just start getting blasted through the head.
oh, we're talking
Uh,
about that now. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that was
I was
cool.
just gonna I was gonna cover the different action aspects. Like it wasn't just sword battling. And then
Yeah,
there was
they
also
introduced
I
a few
loved
different equipment.
one of my favorite scenes was like the helicopter sequence when Zendaya is trying to like get her RPG reloaded,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like hiding under the like sand crawl or whatever. I thought that was super cool.
Have you ever seen
Did you like that
CinemaSins, Ty?
sequence?
You ever seen
Or
CinemaSins? It's like a
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
channel that
yeah. They
breaks down
sim
why
counter.
what they did wrong.
Yeah.
So
What do you
like
think they did wrong there?
so like they have all this battling with their ground troops, and this crazy action sequence happens. Zendaya, like Paul almost dies. Boom, we get that helicopter down. Then they're like, okay, now we can point the lasers at the ship and just blow it up like that. And I was like, wait, why didn't we use the lasers on the fucking helicopters? I was
Yeah, I
really
don't know.
confused by that. Do you remember the blue lasers?
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
coming
They
in,
did.
and
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, bro, we had that the whole time. And I
I
was
mean, they're
like,
trying to preserve resources,
hey,
man. I don't
yeah,
know.
no, maybe it's hard to aim that thing, but it seemed like it was a missed opportunity to
Jake,
not maybe have
they're
some
trying
people
to make a
die.
movie. Yeah, I don't know if the lasers moved. I think they just
Yeah, but it's part of my existence to point out things like that.
All
Okay,
right.
I
Well, I
felt
thought
like
the
it
sequence was cool. I thought it was like fun.
did think
Like,
it was all right.
dude, that she turned around and just shot that dude like into the side of the thing. I
Yeah,
thought that was cool.
that was good aim. That was
Good
good
aim.
shit. I
Good
like
aim.
that.
Good aim.
Yeah, didn't really think
Pod.
about that one because it could have exploded like right up on him, like it does in
Yeah.
Helldivers 2. But hey,
Oh baby.
he rode the
Yeah.
wave. Good
Good
aim,
aim.
Pots. Pots is
And
a good movie.
then
You should check it out. But get out of here because we're
yeah,
talking spoilers. All right,
yeah. Get out of here
back it up.
before
Back it
it
up.
gets ugly. Um, and then I was also gonna bring up the Sandworms, Jake. I mean, they're probably the star of the show. This movie. There was such cool sequences, and I want to say the sound design for this movie, like
Oh yeah.
obviously the Hans Zimmer score. We haven't even talked about that yet, but the sound
Oh
design for
baby.
this movie. I mean, we got the sand, and then like the rumbling of the worm in the distance, and then when Timmy hooks onto that thing that first time, like that was
That was a sick sequence, man.
pure cinema right there. That was some top tier action. And
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
was just all about the action.
you can like see, does it like breathe through its like gills? Like
No,
you
I
could like
think
see like its
the reason
little
they
nostril
left
things are like
those,
pulled up.
yeah, the reason they added that is to try to show you this thing isn't just moving at its own free will now. He's got a little control of it. So he's
Yeah,
pulling up on it to make sure the thing didn't dive down. So that's what the ridges were. I thought it was
yeah,
cool. I liked the way that whole process went. And I
yeah.
loved that it was like happened to be the biggest word like they'd seen uh possibly ever, the way that they described it.
I know, dude. It
Um
looks so big. It looks so
the
big on the
way
screen.
that IMAX theater fucking cooked, like the audio, like the
It was
way
like
that
I was
thing
like,
was charging. I
yeah.
was so
I
pumped.
was,
I was so
dude.
pumped. I was like, this is why we came.
Yeah. I had a smile
Sick.
on my face like a little kid a couple times during that movie. I was just like, whoa.
I had a
Like
few
this is
chill
just
moments. I was like, hell yeah.
hell yeah.
But it
Um.
wasn't like any like stand up cheer type shit. I mean, that's hard to do.
No, no,
But
no.
this one
Yeah, that
was
is
like
tough.
this one was a mind bender, so everybody was really locked in trying to like process the story, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a part of it.
What, Jake? What do you think about how they would suck the water out of the enemy soldiers to like rehydrate themselves?
I mean, that's
And then
what they
this,
sounded like they wanted to do with Paul at the beginning of the or the end of the
yeah,
first one. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're
exactly.
keeping it going
And then
consistently.
with their own soldiers, they take the water out and pour it in that like big pond. Like I thought
Yeah,
that was
bro.
super cool. That
I
that
thought that
just
was a
like
cool
adds the
moment.
elements to the world building. Like you feel like these are real. This is like a real tribe. Like they're very like cultural and like have a lot of beliefs and they think he's the Messiah and they're like teaching him his ways. Like it's you love to see like because it's almost like we're getting taught the culture at the. I mean that's the goal of the movie. We're getting taught the culture at the same time, so we like really feel like we're in
Yeah.
tune with like everything that's going on.
Yep.
Um,
Jonathan's talking about the Hans Zimmer. I mean, so it was so good that it felt like it was seamless for the with the
it
movie.
did feel
Like I didn't
seamless.
even like honestly, I didn't think about it. I was just invested in the story because it just adds some. It adds just another
Yeah,
element, but it's like it's perfectly subtle. And then
yeah.
the score would cut out at the perfect times. It was pretty sweet.
And then they
I
completely
agree with
cut
you.
it out for the last for the final action sequence between Austin Butler and Timothy Chalamet. What do you think about that choice to like take the audio out and just have like the swords clashing? Do you
I
think that
think
was
it
a good?
was, yeah, I think it was a good choice. I think it was a good choice. I the both those actors just I don't see as like warriors, so like
Yeah,
it's just
that's
like
I was.
it's
That's what
hard.
I was thinking too. But
But like I said, him taking the sip of the water that makes him go a little insano mode. It adds the element, and then
yeah,
obviously Austin Butler's character has his own agenda and his like craziness, but like at the same time he was struggling with a guy that looked like he was 40 and he like ran like a corner store. I don't know. It was like why like why is that the guy that they didn't drug if they were really trying to test this guy in the arena?
yeah, I know.
I was
That
like
guy was pretty cool.
that guy didn't no, but that guy didn't even seem like he was much of a threat.
I know.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
why they did it.
that's that kind of put me like in the house of like I don't know about him being the bad guy if he can't just like absolutely dominate. Um,
Yeah. That guy looked
a
like
guy
he
that's like
was yeah,
yeah,
he looked like the army's cook. He didn't even look like a guy who battled. Nothing
yeah,
against that guy, but like you got casted pretty difficult. I thought it was originally maybe the doctor that ratted out them in the first Dune, but he got dropped in the first Dune, so it
yeah.
wasn't him. They could have picked anybody, and they picked this guy, and that was that, that was not a good choice in my opinion.
All right,
So
Jake, I'm gonna stop you there.
that's it.
So Jonathan made a good point in here. It was cool to see the difference, like kind of building to like feeling like we're in this world between the southern and the northern culture of like the land, like kind of the northerners and their beliefs compared to like the south, and like how some of them believed that he was the Messiah, some of them like weren't easily swayed, but then by the end of that thing, they were all like bowing down and dialed in. There's a lot of
Well,
bowing down in that movie. That's
I
like
know
kind of like the
powers like the whole thing.
yeah
It's the whole goal of the movie. Um, I think they said that the North was the ones that didn't believe in the Messiah, but the South was like very easily
yeah
able to be
yeah.
swayed. So
They had a name for him. I can't remember what they called him in the movie, but it was like basically the what would you say? Who was like the super like the Puritans almost like in early like American culture. Like they were like super religious
okay.
in the Northeast. I don't know if you
Oh,
studied
you're
that.
asking me. Um,
I mean, you probably wouldn't know.
the uh,
The Puritans were like dialed in with like
the
Christianity.
gold mason, the mason, the I don't know.
No, all right,
That's
Jake.
like Illuminati stuff.
No, I'm talking about the Puritans. Like are a group
You're
of people
talking about
like
the
early.
Puritans, right? I thought you were
Yeah.
looking for another word. I know who the Puritans are.
No,
Yeah,
I was seeing if that
they're
was an
super
okay reference.
religious, like witch vibe. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that was. I don't know if that's the best reference. I think they're like a God fearing group down there. The guy who Javier, the guy who like really believes who's in the north with him, is from the south originally. So that's how you
Yeah, yeah.
know
Yep,
how those people feel about it all.
yep. That
That's
was
what
a
I'm
good
trying to
touch
say.
out of them. I was just saying it's great for world building. Like that was my original point. Just like you really feel like this is an actual place because they're not like all in the same area. Like they you have to go like miles on the back of a worm to like get to the south.
Yeah.
Um, all right,
I wish
let's
they
see
had a
what else we got
map.
here.
I wish they had a map so we could see how like are these the only two habitable places? Inhabitable places
No,
on
in
the Dune planet? Like
like
the
you
north
talking
and the
about
south?
just that
It's
planet?
just a, yeah, is it like all sand? Like I'm confused by that.
Well, that's what they were saying. Like
They
there's
showed they
life
showed an
forms shown
outside
in
so
the
like
south.
we'll be able to screenshot the planet cuz it seemed like they said on the equator there's the sandstorm and that's how they separate the two. Do you
Oh,
remember
okay.
that part?
No, that blew by me. But
Yeah, I was there. I
that was
saw
good
it.
out of you.
It was
That was good.
north, and then the equator is where the sand belt is, and there's like a big sand wall, and that they have to use the worms to get
All
down.
right. All right.
Yep.
Um, dude, I gotta talk about the baby sandworm. Dude, that thing got. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so. It's just a little guy like jumping out of the sand and shit.
Can we
And
talk
then they were
about how
like, let's
small the
take it
chick was?
over to the water. Like,
Nah, bro.
she was all like, Jake, I
Bro.
know. Wait,
Yeah,
how's
it
you
was a
gonna bring it
sad,
up?
sad
All
moment.
right, Jake.
And then,
We just get like
yeah,
one bubble come up. It was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
yeah. Then
And
Timmy
then,
Timmy Chalamet pulls up, and she hands him the vase. If you
but
hadn't seen
where
it,
did they
sorry
get
about
the
it.
blue liquid, Jake? Where'd they get the blue liquid?
It's already been there. Yeah, it came out of the fucking worm.
Yeah,
They
the
if they've
little
seen
worm.
it, yeah, if they've seen it, then
I
they
know.
know. I'm not gonna like spoil it.
We can
Just in
we can talk about it though, because it's a cool like aspect. When I
Yeah, I'm
first
glad
saw
that
the
they got
blue
it from that.
juice, I didn't know like
You're like, what the hell?
where did we
Yeah,
concocting this stuff. Pulled it out of the worm. I want to talk about
yeah.
how that's cool. All right,
If you
Jake, you
haven't
want to
seen it
fire
yet,
things?
what? If you haven't
Nothing.
seen it yet, make sure you pay attention to when Timothy Chalamet pulls up, and see how small this girl was that hands him the vase, because
Jake,
she is absolutely tiny.
we don't have
Because
to
like,
crap on this girl for no reason.
no, no, because she grabs the worm and kills it, and I'm
Yeah,
like, there ain't no way this small girl is dropping this thing like that.
bro, she been doing
Like,
it for years,
she
bro.
held it, she held that thing down in the water, bro. I was
She
like,
been
how?
doing it for years, bro.
I didn't
She knows
question it
how.
until I saw her stature on the second shot. I was like, geez, Louise. I thought that was wild.
And then did we understand the tear combined with the blue juice on the lip equals brought back to life? Question mark,
Yeah,
exclamation
it looked like just a little Listerine play. We put,
point.
don't have the toothbrush, so we'll just, you know,
Hey, if it
toothpaste
was
bowl.
brown Listerine, bro, he would have been up and active pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it would have the same effect probably.
Um,
It was good. I didn't
yeah, the
really get
water
why
life
it worked, but it worked.
was interesting. It worked. It was a tear of true love.
Must
All
have
right.
been, because the mom didn't seem like she was gonna do anything about it.
Jeez
She was just like, you,
Louise.
you get it done.
Out of E. E
Jeez
said Jeez Louise.
Louise. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Welcome.
All right, let's see what Jonathan said, bro, when they came into the hall before Paul killed him.
Yeah, let's see. Jonathan's carrying. Jonathan, I can get you in here right now if you want to get in here. Let me know. I'll send you the link. Jonathan's got some good takes.
I'm trying to remember that part.
All right, let me read it.
All right, we're doing chat reads, guys. Give us a second, okay? Calm
Yeah,
down.
yeah, sorry.
I got another guy over here. Promotion is probably
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
go
yeah,
off,
yeah.
right?
It was when, Jake, it was when the Emperor and the whole squad, all the soldiers are standing, like, with their swords out, and then, like, you hear, like, the ruckus outside, and then the door blows up, and a bunch of sand happens, and then Paul just walks around the backside,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just,
yeah,
yay!
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just let him walk right past there. And,
Yeah, there was
dude,
some
the
cool. There were some cool
dude
shots. I'm thinking about
compared,
Paul walking out in front of the army like he's Braveheart. Like when they're walking down the dune and he's like 50 paces ahead, looking pretty athletic. I was like,
oh yeah,
yeah, I like
and
that.
dude, I love the strategy they had. Like they kind of like walk through it. Timothy's like, all right, you guys are gonna come through the middle, and then I'm gonna attack from the right, and then we're gonna nuke, and then like the worms. Like there's like this whole like tactical plan, and I really appreciated that. And one thing I like is we didn't stick like with the like a bunch of like sword action, like sword on sword action, like we got that one clip of Zendaya, but then next thing you know, like we're breaking in and we're entering. Like we didn't like
Yeah,
waste a lot of time, like kind of like Game of Thrones does, or not Game of Thrones, but uh, what's it called? The uh, Lord of the Rings
Napoleon.
trilogy. Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
okay.
They like really heavily focus on like the sword battling, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of like out of it after like 10 guys die. I'm like, all right, like
No, I almost enjoyed the way that they did it better with just sitting with the Emperor inside, waiting for
yeah,
the doors to break
you
down. I
just like
thought that was
hear
sick.
all the shit hitting the
Yeah.
fan, and then the
Yeah.
nukes. Jake, did we like the nuke? The idea
Idea that
that
they
there was
just added
nukes.
in.
There was like, oh
Uh,
yeah, there's this
uh,
bunker right over here.
I thought it was fine. Thought it worked all right. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Are they the only house with like nukes, or like they made it sound like everybody had their
The
nuke
only house
stashes?
like on that planet or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
was
the guy would have known about that when he like when he like took it over, the big guy, Vladimir. I feel like he would have known about that
uh, they didn't leave many
when he was hanging out
prisoners.
there.
Seemed like so they probably didn't
Yeah.
ask questions. I don't know. Yeah, that felt
Yeah.
kind of random.
But
I agree.
it didn't like at least like the nuke just didn't like blow everything up and then it was just like the nuke was like it was more like an Oppenheimer story rather than like
Yeah,
swords.
that was bad aim. The
Yeah, what are we doing? We were
the
hitting the
rocket went
ridge.
straight past.
I
I
think
was like,
I think
okay.
we used the nukes as a distraction for the worms to get involved,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is an interesting play. It's an
I thought it
interesting
was
play.
sweet though the way that
Oh wait,
they made it look
they
like
needed.
Pompeii with all the rocks coming down on the guys that are standing on
Yeah,
their
yeah, that was
lines.
cool. That was cool.
That was a
Kind of
sick
reminded
ass
me of
shot.
Battlefield 2042 trailer
All you
when
can
they're
do is
falling off the
stare
cliff.
at it. Yeah, bro. It's fucking sick.
But one thing I did remember that we have to remember as well is that the Emperor was supposed to stay alive. They like needed him alive. Like he had to like talk to him to like get his. They couldn't just nuke the whole thing and like it been over with.
Yeah, right.
So I guess it does make sense from that aspect. But the fact that like the nukes just spawned in was kind of interesting. All right.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that for sure. What else we got? What else we want to talk about?
Uh, already talked about Hans. Jake, do you know they used for? I brought up the sound design earlier. Shout out these two guys, by the way, Theo Green and Mark Mandiani.
Nice.
They used Rice Krispie cereal for like the crunch noise on the sand. Like
Really?
that's how they had like yeah. So that's how they had the sound for the first movie. I'm assuming the same guys carried over for this one.
Yeah, those guys
And
are pretty inventive over there.
I
I
like
like
it.
the way they do it.
I like the sound design on some of the big movies, like the past there's been some good ones, like this
Yeah,
one, Oppenheimer. The sound design was really cool, with like all the particles going around, and then obviously the score in that one.
it's definitely not
Like you
being
said,
overlooked in these newer movies. I agree with
yeah,
you.
but sound design just adds so much,
Oh yeah,
especially in that IMAX experience. It's insane.
no doubt.
Um, yeah, Hans Zimmer. Like Jake said, like I did hear the music a few times, but I was just so invested in like it was so in tune with the emotions of the story that it was just like really just felt like a whole experience. I wasn't like just listening to the music, like it just all kind of blended together. Next, I bet like if I watch it again and I already knows what's going on, like you'll be able to take in
Yeah, there was
some
so
more
much to
senses.
digest that it was like hard to like also appreciate that at the same time.
Yeah, I
It was
almost
just
like
all
wanted.
one like experience. We're just
Yeah,
trying to lock in. It was cool.
I'm like I'm so against subtitles, but like that movie would have been kind of nice with subtitles, so I like kind of understand the story a little bit better.
You couldn't
Just
without it.
cause
You need
no, I
something to
mean just
read.
like there's so many like big. No, I don't need something to read. There's just so many like big names. I don't know how to spell it, so like I don't know how to like place it in my head.
Your
Like
visual guy. I
like
got
if
you.
you see some of these names on this Wikipedia page here, it's kind of outlandish. All these names you got to keep up with. Like I'm just going off
Just
of
know their
faces.
faces, brother. Yeah,
That's why
just know
we're
their
yeah
faces.
I know, but when we're trying to describe it, it's hard. But when Paul, yeah. All right, how's let's see how Twitch is doing because it's our first time
Some
streaming
guy
on
wants
Twitch.
to promote our show, but he left already, so maybe.
All right,
I don't know if that's real or not.
all right,
It's one of
probably not.
those like scam early streamers.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Um,
get us. Okay.
all right, Jake, let's talk about the color. very bright orange and blue. Boom. That was, it was really similar to you haven't seen it, but that Mad Max Fury Road movie.
I did watch it
A lot of
yesterday.
pop, but it wasn't
Got your
like
ass.
over the board. Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's alright.
It's alright.
I
All
thought that
right.
was alright.
How about the colors, dude? Like, I mean, that was
I'm gonna have to
like
rewatch it, bro.
the
I
blue night
was like,
sequences. Come on, Jake. All right.
yeah, I thought it was cool.
All right, you got to rewatch it. You're falling asleep. Come on, lock it in. Next
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it was like, I liked when it slowed down a little bit more. But I thought
All
they
right.
had pretty dynamic characters. I liked the way that they added like the one guy that kept trying to kill himself but kept living. I thought that was good. Good
Yeah.
character. And I like the girl with the black, the one that's gonna be the main character in the next one.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Furiosa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know,
Um,
man. It was alright.
Jake,
But
what do we
back to
think
the
about?
color. I feel like
Yeah.
they made it even paler in the desert. I was like longing for them to like go
Crank
to
it up.
the green paradise. Like I
Oh, that
felt
would have
like it was
been that
I
would have
felt
been
like
a
it was a
nice.
purposeful. I felt like it was purposefully like dry. Like they made it look really dry this time
Yeah.
around. And I was like, dude, I need to look at some water. Like I felt like
Yeah.
my ass, I felt like the
Like
saturation was like making me want to like, bro, can we get some water involved here? Like I don't know.
when he was like, imagine this sand like is water. That's like my home. And I thought they were
I
gonna
was like,
cut
yeah,
to it.
bro. I was like, can we hit some
Let's
flashbacks real
cut to
quick?
it. Let's cut to it.
Like,
Let's cut.
I miss looking at green. It's been 3 hours,
And
bro. Yeah.
I wonder where they shot this. Like, I bet I could find out pretty
I
easily.
honestly
But
think that's part of their game plan, though. Like they were like, we're gonna purposely make this thing the most. It's like beautiful to look at, but the colors are just lacking, and that's like, I don't know. Maybe like subtly makes you pull for Paul to get him out of town at the
yeah.
end. I
Um,
yeah, because I was ready to get out of there. But Zendaya stuck around, so maybe I want to stay.
did we like Zendaya? Did we like her character in this one, Jake? Do
Yeah,
you like her?
yeah, she was good. I felt like she was a good character. I was like really surprised with the way that they. Uh,
Attacked it?
no, but now that I'm
Like, kind
talking
of like
about
the
it,
plot?
it's yeah, the plot is interesting with her story. I'm like curious to see where it goes from here. I am confused a little bit on why she got like so against Paul when he was like still saying the same stuff he was before the liquid, but like yeah, she was not vibing with it. There's something
Yeah.
about that water we don't know about that like she knows about.
Well, she was like, "I'm gonna love you as long as like you stay yourself" or something, and then like he
Yeah,
wasn't himself anymore.
yeah,
Um, and then right before he like asked the other chick for her hand in marriage, uh,
yeah,
he told her like, "I'll I'll love you till the day I die" or something. And
yep,
I think she walked out because she probably knew. Like I know that we're trying to act like she's mad about it. Like she definitely is, but I think it was also like a plan. It's part of like a part of the plan, like
oh yeah. He was talking about the
because
possibilities
it's
like
the
he was
narrow
Doctor
path.
Strange.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, he was talking about
there's a
Doctor
narrow
Strange.
path.
She was like, "This is the way," and obviously it's a political style wedding where you're trying to get more power through the wedding.
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of that going on.
that's the game plan. Seems like in these when you got houses involved and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of like
So
Game of Thrones, trying to figure out. It's a power like who's in. I don't know.
you
It's
obviously
who's in
can
charge.
tell that you can
Yeah,
obviously tell that Paul like still likes Zendaya's character a lot. The way like they showed so
they were
many
looking at
shots of
each
him
other.
looking back at
Reaction
her
shots
so
just
many damn times.
constantly. Yeah,
I was like, okay, so they're really trying to hammer home that he still cares about her. That's why it's such a big deal that he's doing this for the greater good. But who knows if it is because I don't trust that fucking blue water mirror. I don't know. I feel like
dude,
it
the
makes you
blue water is
selfish.
kind of tough. Like you aren't gonna be like normal again. Like he was like, your mom, uh, got her eye cut out when she was 6, and like had to do whatever. And then he's like, oh. He was just dropping truth bombs
Yeah,
on
I don't know where he
everybody.
got that from, Trying to like,
Yeah, well, he knows all. Like that's what they were like. You have to drink the liquid, and you will know like the way. Like
yeah, but I was
that's
confused because I thought that was
it's the
dedicated just for the
it's the water
mom.
of life.
I know, but I'm saying like how they'd been doing it.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's a phenomenon that it's unprecedented that he would drink it too.
yeah,
But like I was confused why he had to.
because they were
Um,
like those like spirits or whatever were, like calling out to him to like do it because it was the
yeah, but
only
those
way.
were the
Like
demons that the guy Javier was trying to be like, bro, don't be
I
listening to
know,
them. So,
but it worked out. But we'll see like
but I
how it
like
corrupt
I like
if it
that
corrupts him.
ambiguity. I like the
Yeah,
ambiguity there. I
no,
don't
it's
know if
good.
I'm trying to pull for him or not, but I know I'm pulling
Yeah,
for Zendaya.
yeah.
Gang
All right, Jake. All right,
on
Jake.
gang.
All right.
No, bro, it's not like that. I just mean like I pull for her character because I feel like she still has good intentions.
Yeah. Um, Jake, the Thumper prop is such a cool prop. I just had to bring it up. Like, I love that this thing's attracting the big sandworms. That was kind of like the most used thing within this movie. Like, you're like, oh, another one of these things. You're like, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
doom,
no, they're cool.
doom, doom. I just had to mention that. That was about
Yeah,
it
shout
on
out.
that one. I had to acknowledge that it was just like a big part of this movie. Um,
I'm still confused on the physics of when the worm wants to pull up and when it doesn't. I guess you got to really get in there
you got
and
to know if
find a
you're
good
in
spot.
worm territory.
You got to be in
That's
an
what it is.
IMAX theater and be able to hear the bass when you punch your fist into it, and then you're
Yeah,
like,
he was
okay, yeah,
like,
it's working.
"No, I said it." Boom, boom, on the right on the
Yeah, that was
mic.
a boom, boom, and I was like, oh my god, all right, now we
That's
go.
that sound design, bro. That's what that is. Boom.
Yeah,
Um,
he just hitting a
and
drum.
then speaking of awesome stuff, we're just gonna get into it. There's some cool spaceships in this movie. Uh, I love spaceships. I love Star Wars, so naturally, I pay attention. Um, we got the dragonfly ones from the first one, which were shown off in this one as well. And then we get that mirrored ship that the Emperor brought in. That thing was pretty cool. They just like
Was it a
dropped it in, and
sphere?
yeah, it was like a
It was like a
sphere.
Mayan castle.
You could like see the dunes like reflecting off of it. Like it was pretty
Mhm.
sweet. Um,
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
and it did
One
like
of my favorites was the slave one looking one that was
I know
blasting
that
away
was
at
my
the
next one. Boba Fett looking ships is next.
yeah,
When they were
yep,
there taking out the rocks. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I definitely pulled some comparisons as well. I was like, Jake's
Yeah,
gonna crush me here, but Boba Fett.
no,
I
that's what it
noticed it.
was.
Yeah, Slave One. There you go, Jake.
Both saw it. There was a okay. Did the helicopter with the when they were like pulling up? Okay, it was the part when Batista's pulling up with the squad. He's really angry that they just
Yeah,
blew
yeah,
up
yeah,
their
yeah,
last
yeah, yeah, yeah,
space or their spice base or whatever.
yeah.
Um, did those things have like uh? It's another Star Wars reference because all of them look the same except for the one specific one that the main
Yeah,
guy's in.
it's pretty similar to like the
He
Tie
didn't have like
Fighters.
a tail or something on
Yeah,
his, and his was a little bit. I don't know if they're fluttering or not in that one. Were those still
it's kind of
flutter
like
guys?
yeah. I think they were smaller on the outside. I
Yeah,
thought about that like inherently, like I didn't like make the connection, but it was like Darth Vader and his like cooler Tie Fighter
yeah.
than everyone
How you
else.
can that's how you can tell like when they're coming in who's who.
Yeah,
It makes
he
sense.
definitely drew inspiration from Star Wars. I think his most
So
uh,
Dune is actually inspiration for Star Wars, and then they're returning the favor a little bit.
all right. Well, Denis Villeneuve was really inspired by like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like, so he's like all in sci-fi.
Oh yeah, I bet.
He's such a sci-fi guy, and like I haven't seen Arrival. I need to watch it, but apparently it's like a top, definitely like a top sci-fi film. So might have to check that one out. I think it has some pretty good actors in there, and I gotta watch Sicario too. I want to see if I can like draw some comparisons within his movies, because I haven't watched a lot of his films besides the original
Oh, they're
Dune.
pretty
So
good. They all have really good scale and they all have really good color.
yeah,
Um, when he takes on a
probably sense
project,
of trend.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good
Yeah,
stuff.
I saw
Jonathan's got a
like
question.
All right, here we go.
Why do you let's start from the bottom. Why do you think Zendaya stayed on back on Dune? Obviously she was upset about the whole situation of him having to marry for the greater good, and I think she knows about some people that are still on the planet that she's trying to rally, and then potentially be the leader. This is just my prediction for what might happen
Yeah,
potentially, but
I
she's
think
upset with
she
Paul right now.
knows. I I think she is upset, but I also think she knows like this is what needs to happen for them to get in the situation they want to be in. I think
Nah,
it's
bro.
I think she's mad about it, but
I
like
think
Paul knows, she's like she'll know
war
in
leads to
time.
more
Like that's what
war,
he
bro.
said.
Yeah,
He said she'll know
I
in
know.
time
He saw, but
because he
like
can see everything in the
not
future.
always.
So it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. We don't know if he's like always right now because he has that blue liquid in him. But like he wasn't right about a lot of the predictions. Obviously, that could change in the next movie, and he could be right. But I think war leads to more war, and she's like upset that he's like going like they protected the planet. That was like what she wanted to do. That's all her goal was.
Yeah.
And then to go off to another place and go try to like
Are they
colonize somewhere
were
else is like not the mission.
were they taken off to somewhere green? Is that
Yeah,
was the
bro. I think
plan,
they were
right?
going back
Right
to
at the end.
his OG spot. They're going back to
And
Paul's
she is like,
old stomping
I'm
grounds.
chilling back. Let's try to
Yeah.
think who else is still hanging out.
Nobody's there except the people I'm predicting that she like recruits. I'm assuming. She's about to
Okay.
be like, bro, she's about to have all the spice she needs though. Like I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe they send ships back and like she come there. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So like they're on
all right.
Green Planet
Let's talk through it.
vibing
Here we go.
out. They're sending ships cuz they need spice to space travel, feed the addiction. Everybody's got it.
Yeah.
Um, they come back. Zendaya's protecting that stuff with new gang, new gang. Um,
She's still
but she's
like
the
taking
leader.
down the spice
Oh
crawler
yeah, I think
things.
she's because she's protecting her planet. Maybe even against Paul's group.
Yeah.
'Cause she wants. I don't know. It's probably gonna feel like a some kind of
Hey.
like.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
letting you
don't
know.
think they used all the nukes either, so I don't know what the play
Did I?
is.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to cut off Paul's hand and use it to open up the door. So that's gonna be
Or
tough.
the sister gets involved in a later movie.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna come out in this trilogy, but they're
The
setting
nuke
up some
layer.
potential. Yeah.
That
Um,
was kind of dumb.
what are your thoughts on the Ben Gesserit chick getting impregnated by Austin Butler character?
Dude,
Okay.
we were talking about that. I he was like super weak to the voice. Like he got like easily seduced. That kid's definitely gonna be an issue, not for Timmy, I don't think, but for his sister, the Anya Taylor Joy chick in like a later movie. And let's say like
Bro, I
base
feel
this
like they're
next
gonna
movie
pull a
like
House
way
of
in the
Dragon.
future.
Yeah, they're gonna pull a House of Dragon and just zip like 7 years in the future, and we'll be like,
They're gonna
what?
go to the future. She's gonna be born like a little kid, and then
Maybe
she's
those
gonna
two are
be
gonna
the actual
battle.
Messiah. I think maybe the
Nah, bro,
little
it's
girl's like is the actual one.
so so the mom of Paul has a
Yeah,
baby that's basically the same age as the one that just got conceived.
yeah, I know.
So those two are gonna butt heads
That's
for
I already
sure.
said that, but she
Okay.
might be the actual Messiah. Like Timmy thinks he's the Messiah. Like Paul thinks he is.
I think it was supposed to be a
Maybe
guy
he
though.
actually is. I don't
I
know,
think it
but
had to be a
it could
guy.
be. I know, but it could be a chick. It's 2024 out here.
I'm just talking about the prophecy, what it is. But yeah, hey, who knows? Maybe they go another direction with it.
Said there are many prospects for the prophet. Who do you think? Dude, Paul's
Um,
mom is gonna be an issue in the next movie, 100%. We that was like one of the first things we dived into. Like her brain's getting a little out of whack, and when
yeah,
she raises that little kid to be like, the chick is definitely gonna be like a witch. She's definitely gonna be a witch.
she already
I
got
feel
the
like
juice in her. She already got the blue juice.
she's already talking to the
She's
mom through
already yeah, she's already talking.
and she doesn't even have a developed brain or body or anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
You imagine
That
she gets born and just doesn't even remember being like
dude,
telepathically connected.
no, no, no. This baby's gonna be born with the juice in her veins already. So like
I know
she's
that.
gonna be all knowing like from the minute she's born,
Yeah.
which is gonna be like she's gonna be like almost like a MacGuffin or whatever Jake you said. Like, cause she's gonna have all this knowledge, and she's gonna be like this baby that like
One thing
can
I'm
talk.
thinking about now
This baby can like talk
is
to people.
the that daughter, the baby, is the one that told Paul that he was related to the Harkonnen leader, which
Yeah,
also told the mom that that was the case. And I'm
that's
confused how why she's the one that knows and not the like I don't know,
I
bro.
can't. I don't understand what you just said. All right, that's why the
What?
Fremen women were so scared
How can you not?
that she was pregnant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they were freaked out, and I was like, "Oh, the baby's gonna die," and then like the baby's fine, but the baby is very altered.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how that's gonna make its way in.
Yeah, that's definitely why the Fremen women were scared. I don't know where those Fremen women went, but like I think the mom potentially got rid of him pretty quickly after drinking the juice.
Trying to think if there's any
Do you
red
think
herrings in the story here.
red herrings?
Red herrings.
I don't think there
Yeah.
is any.
We wouldn't know until
What's
the
a
next one.
dude? What's a red herring in like any other trilogy?
Uh that Luke's father is Darth Vader and we didn't know that. It's a bit that's a
How's that a red
reveal.
herring?
It's not a red herring. I just there's red herrings, bro. Stories have that.
What in what trilogy?
Not a trilogy. I couldn't name a trilogy. I'm just telling you.
Everything has meaning. There's no red herrings out here. Everything has meaning.
Yeah, I don't know,
Whether
man.
it's like the character's like frame of mind, like
You're talking
everything.
like
Like
you know, bro.
I do know. They why would they
You
show
don't
something
think
and
you
then
don't
not
think that this daughter could be an unreliable narrator? Like telling him that he's got blood of this gene like this I don't know. He's got the
unreliable
blood of the
narrator? What'd she
Harkonnen.
say?
She's the one she's like, "Bro, like I know about your past and you're not going to like what you see. I'm just letting you know now." And
What are
then
you?
he like,
The baby
"Yeah,
said
the
that.
baby. The baby
Well,
that
Jake,
was
why
the
would she
girl
be an
from
unreliable? Jake. He took the juice of life. They told. She learned about it. He learned about it. They both learned about it. It's separately. She's like, I
Yeah, I don't
didn't know
know, man.
till I drank the juice of life. And then he was like,
That's the mom though. I'm
okay.
talking about the daughter. The
I know,
daughter
but
is the one that told Paul.
no, it isn't.
Yeah, bro, the flashback.
Jake.
The flashback when the girl is
Jonathan, tell this guy. Tell this guy.
Ty, shut the hell up. It's
He
it's
was out
literally
by himself in the open. He was trying to figure out, Jake, the
bro,
baby
there's
did not tell him.
literally as soon as he drinks the drink, the girl from Queen's Gambit pulls up and is like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like what I'm about to show you, but this is what it is."
Why would she
And
lie about
then
that?
because then it sends him in the direction to go become the fucking emperor because he has this blood in him. He thinks he's a man.
No.
That's like, yeah, bro. She could be messing with his psyche.
She's not unreliable.
I think he's gonna regret listening to the fucking
She
voices,
might be
bro.
like, I don't think she's lying about that, but she's definitely gonna be like, I think she could be bad. Like I don't think she'll be like a good, like his buddy.
There's got to be a way to reverse the old blue juice. I feel like in the next
I'm
movie
not getting
he's
in the
gonna
middle of
regret.
this. Yeah, dude, this guy, red herrings.
Hey,
All right,
they
Jake, let's
are
move on.
real, bro.
I know they're real. They're in books. Movies usually
You don't
like
think movies have red herrings,
name one movie.
bro? There's so many movies with red herrings. I couldn't name one.
Jake, name 10
Let me.
books.
All
Have you
right, I'll
seen that
pull it
meme?
up.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that meme?
yeah. The Elon
Name
Musk or
10
something.
name 10 movies. No, it's like the guy who oh gosh.
Dude, every whodunit ever has red herring.
Yeah, cool. This is not. This is an action sci-fi.
I know, but still.
It's not a murder mystery whodunit.
Dude, there's been like, dude, like if you think about Game of Thrones, I'm talking about stuff like that where you like, you think that somebody's gonna get
Just
into
you
power
just
and then it just like, I guess it's more of just like a
misleading
subversion.
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 It's not a red herring. Yeah. It's
Okay.
okay.
Dude, but
Uh,
red hair, there is red herring. That is could be a red herring. Like hypothetically, we're just gonna get into this. Hypothetically, if someone told somebody something and then it makes the audience think something, but it's actually not that, that's a red herring, bro. It's pretty simple,
that's
right?
subverting expectations. That's completely different.
It's not
Red herring
completely
is
different,
like
bro.
red herring is like this person is this person, and then they're actually not. Like or like
No, that's not what a red
Jake,
herring
look
is.
up the definition of a red herring. Look it up. Look it up for me. Since you're the red
It's a
herring man.
purposeful
You're Jake.
device used by a
Jake.
director or a writer to throw off the audience.
Okay. Is that what it
That was
the
my
book
own. That
the
was my
book is that the
own
book?
meaning.
Can you do the book definition? Because that was
Yeah, someone
subversion of expectations.
something intended to divert attention from a real problem or
Someone,
matter at
someone,
hand.
someone.
Something intended to divert
All
the
right, all right,
attention
all
of the
right.
real problem or matter at
Let's go
hand.
back to the visual art of this movie. They did an incredible job giving symbolic
Yeah,
representation
yeah.
of
Zoe
different
knows what I'm
houses
talking about.
and
Not
who they are
Jav.
as people. Here we go. Let's go. Uh, and yeah, this movie's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we got plenty of other stories to tell within this universe, and I think Denny, like, if he keeps dropping masterpieces like this, like he'll continue to direct them. And as I hope it doesn't turn into something like Star Wars. Like, as long as like what? What are
Yeah,
you
he'll
laughing at?
he'll be sticking around. He'll be sticking around for sure
Yeah.
for the trilogy.
Like, do you think he'll do like
You
a
think he'll?
prequel or something after?
Uh, I feel like it's taken a long time for them to produce two movies, let
He's only
alone a
doing one
third.
more.
And
Okay. I'm
that's
kind of
all.
happy he's only doing that,
Yeah, we just need
and
to.
I
We're not
hope it
trying to
stays
make
that way.
TV
I hope it stays
spin-offs.
that way. All right, then it'll definitely go to the future where the child's born. It'll definitely do that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, these are. This is like a book that they're trying to. The was crazy in
Yeah, I
this
saw
movie.
that.
It actually did a good job though.
Um, sorry, I can't like even.
You have anything else?
Yeah, a few more things. Do you want to? You want to give me the rating, Jake? What's your rating on this one? Sorry, Jonathan, we got into a little bit. It's alright. It happens.
That's why we're talking on this. It's
I
interesting
know it's
to have
good.
that
It's good.
conversation. You were like trying
I'm
to get
not.
off of it
My
quickly. I'm
argument's
like,
not.
let me finish my sentence.
My argument's not that there isn't like subversion of expectations, because that's like what movies are.
That's what a red
So
herring is. So
I don't know. I just didn't. I don't like your wording.
you don't like my idea? You don't
No,
like
it's
my
okay.
idea? I think it could happen.
No, I mean
Rating.
it probably will.
Let's see. It's hard to like rank something highly when it's put in a trilogy. Like obviously Star Wars is an exception in my mind that I immediately think of, but
Yeah.
like this is the second movie of a series. I think it was really well done. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Thought it was nice.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah.
I said 4.7. Just because you don't get a lot of theater experiences like that. Like, this one's definitely gonna come back out. Like, you'll be able to watch it on Netflix or something like that. But like, this experience we got tonight, like, you only come across that like once a year, a couple times a year, like even like once every 5 years. I got a 4.7, and I even had it like potentially a 4.9, just because I didn't want to like go to like the 5 mark or something like that, just because my brain hasn't fully taken
Yeah.
everything in yet, and I haven't seen like. I mean, we've had our takes, but I'm sure there's other takes on the internet that are pretty interesting.
I got a question for you.
Just about, yeah.
Compared to the first movie, do you think it was better? in terms of
The f-
enjoyment.
it, I always, I'm gonna say this. I always like a first movie because it always like sets the tone for the trilogy. Like A New Hope and Star Wars. Like I love A New Hope. Like it's almost, I almost like A New Hope better than Empire Strikes Back, and I know that's a hot take,
That is
but
a hot take.
I know it's like I said I almost like it better. I don't like
Yeah,
it better, but like it's like really close. Just cuz like that starts the magic
yeah.
and I don't know, that's a tough question, but I'm probably going to have to lean towards this one. It might be recency bias, but I remember walking out of the theater after the original Dune and I wasn't a taken back as what after walking out after this one.
Yeah, I think the setup for Dune in the first one was awesome. But the way it ended made it a lesser movie. But that's what when you're saying like A New Hope was great, like they were able to like have a whole story and then have it like have a great ending as well. So like it felt
Yeah.
like a complete story. This is really like I feel like you're gonna have to ask me my rating after I watch all three movies because it's one big story
Yeah,
that like
like the
is
overarching story
continuous.
is,
It's
yeah,
pretty continuous. So, but I would say I like this one better because we're really starting to get into the nitty gritty of what the hell's going on and trying to figure out these character. I liked the
yeah.
character development in this one.
And then one of my gripes on the original Dune is like people kind of say like it doesn't really have like the ending that they wanted, and this one kind of delivered in the ending. I feel like much more so than the first one. Um, like we actually got like a final battle, and we could kind of see like where everything was pointing. The first one's really just like setting the tone, showing us the world, showing us the characters, and then like Jonathan said, it's like this movie was really about character development. Like think about where Paul was at the beginning of this movie to where he was by the end of it. Like it's insane. Like just his character development over 2.5 hours, and I was like, dude, like most like TV shows can't accomplish this over like 5 episodes. We're doing this in one movie. Like it's super special to
Yeah,
like be able to tell a story like that and like have the audience be captivated by it and not
yeah.
like I feel like we got a good balance of like what Paul was doing versus what they were doing on the other side. Like you said, like kind of flipping from the black and white to the sand, or not the black and white, but like the dark to the light. Um, I felt like there was a good even uh, going back and forth,
I
but the
don't think
bad
there
guys
was.
weren't as good in this one. Honestly, the bad guys weren't as good.
They tried to establish how bad that guy was. That's like tall and fat.
Yeah,
Um, by like him killing his maids, but like that was like the only time we really saw him really crank it up.
get mad.
Uh,
Yeah, because
yeah, he was
in
like
that
such
first
a
movie, Jake.
badass in the first movie.
Yeah, dude, he's like making a cocoon on the ceiling, like surviving from like
Like you
poison.
were scared of him. I felt like they had so much to handle on the Paul side of
I
things that
think he
they
was like still recovering from the first one or something.
maybe. I think they had to focus so much on the Paul side of things that they and then they had to create this new bad guy with Austin Butler's character that they didn't give that guy enough screen time. So that by
Yeah,
the time uh, he showed up at the end, like his last scene there, um, yeah, I didn't really feel as fulfilled. Maybe it's just because it's been a while. I saw Dune like only a few weeks ago, but I don't know.
yeah, I
I
watched
feel
it
like
too.
you gotta make me hate this guy up until the point where you have him, you know,
Yeah.
cornered.
All right, let's see what Jonathan said, and then we can start to wrap it up over here.
Given
Bro,
Jonathan.
when Paul silenced the head sisterhood chick and she fell backwards, that was a powerful moment. Yeah, it definitely was. He went from baby steps using his voice to being very authoritative. Yeah, what'd she say when that happened?
Called him an
She was like,
abomination.
she said, gee, like, it was almost like,
You hear me?
yeah, yeah,
Called me an
abomination.
yeah. Because
Yeah, she
he's
was
a
like,
dude
holy
using the voice.
shit.
He's like, yeah, damn. I was like, bro.
Dang.
She's like, bro. Guys should not be using this voice. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because he
Well,
fucking put it down.
I want to see in the next movie. I want to see a lot more voice usage. I know the daughter's using it right now, but I want to like. That's like not the same, but like when they really like get mad and like, because
Yeah.
it's like the Force like equivalent within this universe.
Yeah,
It's
it
like a
is.
Jedi mind trick, I
Hmm.
guess.
Yeah, I'm curious how subtle it can be, or is it always just like you got to get loud so everybody around knows what the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah,
Like there's no like sneaking into a patrol and being like, "Let me in," like, and then you only
yeah,
talk to one guy, and then everybody's else like, "What the fuck?" And like, I
yeah.
don't think it'd work.
Well, that
But
helicopter scene in the first one was awesome when he was like she was like telling each of them.
oh yeah,
Jonathan, have a great night. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for interacting. You're the man.
thanks
Uh,
to the other
hope you're doing
people
good.
that are in here too. Zoe, shout out potentially if she's still
Zoe's in
here.
here. Is
I think
Aaron
she
in here?
was. She texted me. She was like trying to back me up on the
Oh, okay.
red herring stuff.
I just like red herrings, like murder mystery stuff. Like, oh, that hat was laying on the table. Like that's what I think of when I think of red herring. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
red herring can be a person, or it
I
can be a
know,
thing.
but my brain went to. That's my bad. I apologize. My brain went to. Oh, that his fedora was in the living room over there, but he set it down earlier, so it's nothing. That's red herring in my mind.
Yeah. So I was trying to say that the reliableness of the narrator, like
Yeah,
it, but it
yeah.
wasn't a narrator. But
I
like,
like an
hey,
unreliable narrator. That's always good. They love
yeah,
that in screenwriting class and
yeah. There's definitely
English class.
a lot of ambiguity about if we should be vibing with Paul or not walking out of
Yeah,
the theater. Like I don't know if he's the same
yeah.
guy,
I know it's weird
but I
walking
like
out. You're
that
like,
part.
whose team am I on? Jake's on Zendaya's team, but like, who's? I'm rocking with Javier, bro. He's such a homie, dude. He is my
Dude,
favorite part of this
he's
movie.
such a servant now, though, bro.
He was
He's
glazing the
like,
whole movie, but like,
yeah,
I think he's awesome. I
yeah,
thought his jokes were cool.
yeah. No,
Um,
I think Zendaya is about to pull out some unlikely squad members
mm,
and hold down the fort.
yeah,
We'll see though.
potentially.
I'm excited for the next one. It's gonna be like 3 years. God damn.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a while. So we gotta watch both of them back to back,
Nope.
right before the third one. How about we start the day like you're going in at 7:30, like to watch the third one. You start the first one at like 10 a.m. Boom, watch it. Start the second one. Boom, drive to the theater. Boom, finished it. It's like complete sequence in your brain. It's just all there. Just
Yeah, because
intermissions.
they didn't do much recap,
Intermissions.
which I appreciated. I'm
Zero
glad they
recap.
didn't do a
Zero
recap.
recap. Right into it.
It's like I love that we're just jumping straight into this.
Yeah, it was cool. I hope we jump straight in. I don't know if we'll jump straight into it again, but I like how there was like no time went by. We were right where we left off. But
Yeah, it was cool.
all
It
right,
was
Jake.
cool.
All right,
GG's, man.
Jake. GG's. GG's. Let me get real cringy real quick. Potentially.
Oh god, what's going on?
Jake's gonna.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
guys. It's been a pleasure.